These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their home.
It's right here over Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Okay, you see it? You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that, bro? Did it just get smaller? Bro, what?
Above the ocean, and it was low, very low, but so bright and so clear, and it was huge. Like when you...
I'm concerned. I issued a letter to ask for more information, and I think there should be a lot more transparency about that.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. My goodness, looking at this, and we're taking it.
Okay, we are here today. Probably gonna do a quick show. I have to drive here in a bit, so it's a little earlier than usual. Let's shout out the chat really quick. We're just gonna run through kind of the stories of the day pretty quickly. Hello 0897 says yo back. Gavin Pierce, another interesting night. Yeah, like every night more stuff's happening, right? I've barely slept. Every time I'm about to fall asleep, something else pops off, and I'm just like re-woken up. Anthony Jones says, let's effing go. I agree. TRG says, don't get on the ships. I kind of recommend that too. Hello 0897 says, I'm currently leaning towards this being a false flag by us to get new anti-drone laws passed due to the new age of war present in Ukraine and Palestine. Wish there were aliens, but I see man-made. Definitely interesting perspective. Gonna leave everything on the table for right now. And we're gonna cover today too. I don't know if you guys saw, and also let me know if you guys could hear me just to make sure, because my audio mixing is always horrible. But yeah, Senator Chuck Schumer had a pretty interesting press conference today. Pretty funny in my opinion that he was like holding a magic 8 ball, but they're asking for some more authorities and stuff. They're already trying to do Patriot Act 2 before we even know what the hell's going on. So yes, definitely something to keep an eye out for. At least that part too, whatever you think is going on here, the infringement of rights during these kinds of things is definitely always like the MO. So let's not have that happen. Biologist Wildtree says back for more. Samuel Stone says, hey, Red. Darth McBee says, let's effing go. I, Kendrick, it's radiation detectors is my best bet. Feels true. Yeah, we'll cover some of that too. I really dislike John Kirby. I think it's a smugness in his tone. Yeah, very blue booky. Hello from Black Flag. Yes, I can hear. Always the magician's offhand. Caligo says, can hear. Thank you. Mike Capone says, yo. And Jeffrey, how's it going, Jeffrey? Hope you're doing great. Hear you great. Okay, cool. So where to begin? And yeah, like I said, it's gonna be kind of a quick show today. But a lot did happen. A lot's happening every night. Let's start with what I actually put in the thumbnail here. So we'd already heard reports of these drones, kind of like people with personal drones trying to get near it and it not working, as we saw two up there in the intro there that we had. That also kind of went semi-viral today, just saying. That was kind of interesting. I feel like whichever way this goes, I feel like people are going to get really, they're like, I don't know. People already pissed at me, right, for covering it. But I don't know. I don't believe the government's lying to us. I definitely don't advocate for any infringement of rights and whatnot. But there was a video that went out last night. And mind you, this is in Arizona, where somebody tried to get their drone up near one of these mystery drones, and it kind of fell out of the sky. And real quick before we play that, let's just kind of remind everyone that we've seen reports of this. So this was early. This was early. I think this is only like 5 days ago now or so. Let's see, December 11th, 4 days ago. That dude, this already feels like 2 weeks ago. This video, but we had this report from New Jersey. Let's see.
It's right here over at Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down, dead battery. It's right here over a
It's kind of one interesting testimony, and then it was kind of coupled with people like on TikTok posting videos like this.
Not want to go up with these things.
Let's see, yeah.
My drone does not want to go up with these things around.
Battery's dead?
There's no way the battery's dead. It's fully charged.
It's 0. It won't let me.
What is going on? Okay, these are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down. It's the craziest thing. They will not fly. Like it won't fly. What the fuck? I don't believe in government conspiracies, but listen, there's mystery drones, and people's regular drones will not go up in the air and crash out. What the fuck? Alright, trying again to get the drone up.
No, this one won't even let me.
What? What's it say? Let me see.
It says charge or warm up battery.
What?
Charging battery required.
It's fully charged.
It was it.
If you recall too, I don't know if I played it up to that point, but our friend Omer out of New Jersey, who we did the witness testimony with yesterday in a Twitter space, we played a clip of it, which by the way, we did get 2 more today from Arizona, which were really compelling. With both of them had great videos too. He said, Omar said that like he has a personal story too, where his, I think it was a sister's friend or something like that, had drones that weren't working in New Jersey. Now we have this video out of Phoenix, Arizona from last night, where it appears to show kind of like what that guy's describing. Let's watch this.
Something's going up real fast. A plane? I can't tell what it is.
So yeah, so I think what we got here is we got a drone, this little dot here, and yeah, I wish there was a way to make these bigger on in this format, this vertical format, but for now that's what we got to do. I'm probably just gonna have to make a second one. But anyways, we have this is a personal drone headed towards one of these weird things, and again, this is in Arizona, guys. Last night, not even in New Jersey or the East Coast.
Whoa, is that moving quick? That could be a drone. I don't know what the hell that is, but that is quick. There's only one remaining right now. Whatever that green flashing one is, he moved quick around it to get it. Super quick. He's like right there with it. Oh, he's like right on it. That whatever it was just shut down the drone. If that was a drone.
Do you see that? Let's kind of rewind it back a little bit. The money shot. Here we go.
He's like right there with it. Oh, he's like right on it. That whatever it was just shut down the drone. If that was a drone.
So yeah, so you know, who knows? There's probably going to be some convenient debunk for this too, like there has been for every video. But it seems to show on camera the phenomena that we've heard other testimonies from. So I think that's definitely kind of worth covering. Let's see, where do we want to go next? Let's go next for real quick before we get to Chuck Schumer. Let's go to the who was it? Somebody here had said it was hello 0897 said I'm currently leaning towards the being a false flag. Oh, actually, wait, no, sorry, this is what I was even thinking of. Let's go towards the oh shoot, look at actually let's watch this together. That guy who was on the original thing. This was just posted. I'm probably gonna have to clip this. Looks like they interviewed the guy from that original thing that I had clipped. Let's see what he has to say since we're on this topic still. Perfect timing.
Me now, Michael B., an experienced drone pilot and CEO of Terror Talk. Michael, big welcome to you. And thankfully, you sent us some video from one of your spotters in Hillsborough, New Jersey. And we're going to pull this up here and show our viewers there's a big red dot. There you see it, kind of dead center of the screen. What do you think that is? What do you think people are seeing in the skies? And why only at night?
At this point, I think that someone knows what they are. So what we're doing is we're going to go up and watch you. You're watching us or you're doing whatever. So we're up there watching, we're following, we're trying to get in the air. What they could be, I have no idea.
Okay. We have more video that you sent us of you, in fact, trying to launch a drone, and it was right near an airport. So tell us what happened there and why it's so noteworthy.
Okay, so we got reports last night that there was a lot of drone activity in the East Hanover area, which backs up to Morristown Airport and all that vicinity. So we head out there, we set up in a parking lot about a quarter mile away from the airport. And I'm trying to get flight clearance to take the drone up and see what this other drone is. And I cannot. Restricted. I tried to bypass it. At one point, it even asked for my phone number. And I said, no, I think we're good at this point.
Okay, now hang on. When you say
weird, guys, very interesting, very crazy. Let's continue here. But yeah, it was great. This literally was just posted. So great timing, NBC or MSNBC.
Looking for flight clearance, how does that work? I mean, are you literally talking with a control tower or what are you doing?
So there's an app that you use to connect to the drone. When it's time, when you want to fly, you press a button and what it does is it looks for flight clearance or restrictions. And what happened was there was a restriction in that area and I couldn't get up, but there were drones in the air that weren't following the restriction. Now we verify everything above us with flight radar, so we can tell if it's an airplane or if it's not. None of the things that we go after are on flight radar.
Okay, so what we're looking at, this device notwithstanding, this control for your drone, if drones are getting into areas without clearance by the FAA, is it possible they figured out some kind of a technology to keep their drones from being jammed and or losing power?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know if you're aware, last week or so, 2 weeks when this started, I tried to take my drone over Picatinny Arsenal to follow a drone that was just hovering over there. And as I got closer, my drone lost power, spun out, and the battery died and it went down. But the other drone remained sitting in the air unaffected.
Why? What do you think?
No. Secrets that the government don't want us to know and they're playing stupid. Either that or aliens.
Oh, come on. Not the latter. Okay, you're smiling. All right. I'm glad.
Hey, that's a milestone, I think, actually, in this whole saga. That's, I think, probably the biggest platform the A-word alien has been used amidst this whole thing. And look at her initial reaction, like, no. Let's watch that back. Milestone alert. Fun. Let's hit this too real quick. This is over here. There we go. Sorry. I muted for that too. Damn, I keep on forgetting to mute myself. I guess you guys are just gonna miss. Oh, I said that this is a milestone that he used the A word. Pretty interesting.
Why? What do you think?
No. Secrets that the government don't want us to know and they're playing stupid. Either that or aliens.
Oh, come on. Not the latter. Okay, you're smiling. All right. I'm glad. All right. So are there enough restrictions for drones? You're a drone user. Are those restrictions taken seriously by your colleagues, your friends that are drone users as well? Or is more regulation needed? And if it went out there, would it be followed?
I think people are always going to find a way around the regulations. I don't think the average user can get around it because without that app and without that clearance, your drone will not go in the air. It just sits there with a red light. So if they did more restrictions, I don't know that they would be followed.
What do you make of the number that the FBI says of all those reports they've gotten? 5,000 reports, fewer than 100 or so warranting further investigation. What do you think would warrant further investigation or exploration? What is it that would pop up that they'd say, yeah, we got to look at this?
I would start with drones hovering over military bases, which I live right next to, and I watch them. They go back and forth. They leave for a little bit. They come back. They hover around. Nothing happens. No one does anything. They just sit there and watch them hover in the air.
But you don't know that those aren't intentionally there.
Let me ask the chat real quick and double check I'm not muted there. Does anybody think that the U.S. military has not already tried engaging these drones flying over their bases? Yeah, it's like they're either 100% theirs, in my opinion, or they have already tried, and they probably. And again, I heard this happened. I heard they dispatched, Valkyrie drones from Camp Pendleton to the mystery drone seen in Bedford, Oregon, and that 2 of the 4 did not return back. So I think if I was betting, I'd bet that what we see here in this video has probably already happened with the U.S. military, but they just don't want to say it. There's no way in hell that something that they don't quote unquote know flies over all our bases for like a month and they haven't done anything or even tried to like engage it. Let's watch this one again. Yeah.
A plane? I can't tell what it is. Whoa, is that moving quick? That could be a drone. I don't know what the hell that is. But that is quick. There's only one remaining right now. Whatever that green flashing one is, he moved quick around it to get it. Super quick. He's like right there with it. Oh, he's like right on it. Oh, that whatever it was just shut down the drone, if that was a drone. Holy crap.
So that's what that guy's explaining over here. Should we let's close it out. Maybe he'll say something interesting at the end here.
There, right? That they have been cleared.
Could be. We don't have information on drones. When I go onto a flight radar app, I can only see whatever aircraft is registered in the sky at that moment. And drones are not part of that.
People have, at least Secretary Mayorkas, he had suggested before yesterday that these were all fixed wing aircraft, these dozens and dozens and dozens of sightings. Now he's saying mostly that, but there are some that are just drones. What's your expectation of this? If it's fixed wing aircraft, why is it so hard to tell the difference?
So I believe the misconception is when we say drone, people are picturing like my recreational drone. It's got the 4 propellers, and they can get very large. The drones that we're seeing are like mini aircraft. They look like airplanes, but at the distance they are at, they're too small to be airplanes. They're too small to be aircraft, and they're not on the registration for the flight radar. So they do look like airplanes. And that's what's confusing people, because they look up and they say, okay, that looks like an airplane, but it's not. It's a small drone.
Okay, Michael B. This has been super interesting and very illuminating. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael B. Maybe we could get him on. Maybe he'll do a witness testimony space. That'd be kind of interesting and cool. Where do you want to go next? Again, this is gonna be a quick show today, guys. Probably have some like longer ones during the week, but there's we could go. Yeah, we'll end with the Chuck Schumer asking for more restrictions and powers. Let's do this. So this thread was kind of trending yesterday, although it's kind of been debunked, but we'll just kind of share it anyways. This is the people who think it's U.S. tech looking for like a dirty nuke. We'll just kind of play a few things along those lines. There was an interesting statement too from a drone manufacturer that we'll play after this that even Joe Rogan retweeted and said it seems like a plausible theory. So Let's watch this, and then we'll watch the other thing, and then we'll end with Chuck Schumer.
One of a few groups of people who know exactly what the drones are in New Jersey. This tweet will go into the void as I have no followers, but I'll share anyways. Please retweet for reach. What you're seeing are American-made HPGE nuclear detector drones. They can detect the presence of gamma rays miles away. But what is a gamma ray? That is the stuff we attribute to radiation, electromagnetic waves that penetrate you and cause cancer. HPGE drones are built to inspect nuclear sites. But these ones aren't. In the late 2000s, the DoD needed a response to the threat of dirty bombs from ISIS coming into our ports in New York and New Jersey. They've been stocking up on these drones for a while. Some were deployed to Ukraine when Russia threatened the use of dirty bombs. They look weird because they're heavy and have giant cryo coolers mounted and giant horn antennas to communicate on M wave frequencies that can't be jammed. This is where I come in. The technology these drones use have few suppliers, both for M-wave equipment and the high-purity germanium. The same suppliers that are the backbone of my industry. So what are they doing? Collecting information in how public will react, PSYOP, and testing their ability to sweep a port city like New York for dirty bombs. Jersey was chose because we're the closest port city to New York, and New York would be too dense for reliable M-wave comms. But why is the DoD silent? Again, because in a scenario we have a threat of a dirty bomb and the public doesn't yet know, the DoD needs to know how the public would react if these were deployed to sweep a city. What many don't realize is Ukraine is the reason we're here. That was the first time we deployed them in a combat zone. But make no mistake, they're for protecting the homeland, as DoD bought hundreds of thousands to act as swarms capable of sweeping a city. And I'm sorry for all the typos. I'm on the train home without my glasses, and it's very bumpy. I just had to get this off my chest as all day. I'm hearing people genuinely afraid of the drones when they should be in awe of the capabilities we have as a country to keep us safe, and for nerds who know a bit about what I'm talking about. Take a look at a close-up of the drones. They operate in a grid both to sweep areas, but also because comms are done.
Okay, so yeah, this is something you kind of hear out there. I don't know if, I don't even know which story I put the most credence in, although to be honest, I kind of am leaning NHI. But I'm definitely open to these being US drones. It would be very crazy and like the most psyopy of psyops they've ever done. Remember we showed this yesterday. Here's Lue Elizondo. He kind of said something along those lines, and whenever we play Lue, we got to do this.
Drone sightings have been reported above critical infrastructure. He added that their presence appears nefarious in nature.
I don't know who could have possibly done this.
And it gets even worse. Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their home.
It's kind of unsettling. They're not up for 15 minutes. They're up for...
All right, so let's check in with Lue. Remember, this is what Lue said yesterday. That kind of was along the same lines. I think he's just putting all the possibilities out there, though. I don't think he's like putting too much into one. Let's see.
What are we dealing with now? Is it possible there are drones? Maybe they're not foreign adversarial. Maybe there are drones. Maybe someone like Department of Energy is borrowing these drones from another government agency because, maybe hypothetically, maybe there's a threat. Maybe some rogue nation was able to put something really bad here, some sort of WMD here in the continental United States. Maybe, we don't want to scare the public. Maybe you don't want to panic the public. And so what do? We put out these drones with sniffers and, try to find something maybe that's hopefully not there. Is that a possibility? Sure. And then you've got the other possibility where some of these folks are saying, look, these things are popping up instantly into the sky. They're communicating with each other. Then one flying off at a great speed. If that's the case, then are we dealing with potentially a UAP issue initially, and then the government's response is to send up a bunch of drones? In the old days, we'd send up a helicopter or two, but you can't really cover a lot of ground in a single helicopter. It makes more sense to have 5 or 6 drones on the ready. You don't have to call a pilot to come in out of bed and get into a helicopter. You just press the red button, and these things go to their prearranged areas, and they start scanning the area. So what are we dealing with now? Is it possible there are drones?
That's a little update from Lue on that front. Let's watch this video. This is what kind of this is one of the big little videos going around about that kind of front. I think this is the one Joe Rogan retweeted. Let me see. Let me pull up maybe his tweet real quick. See what he said with it. Okay, so this video we're about to watch, Joe Rogan said, "This is the first video about these drones." Let me zoom in for you guys. "This is the first video about these drones that has got me genuinely concerned," is what he said. Okay, so let's watch this. This was going around yesterday.
Hey everyone, my name is John Ferguson. I'm the CEO of Saxon Aerospace here in Wichita, Kansas. I'm not normally a TikTok kind of a guy. I like watching this stuff every once in a while. But I'm a manufacturer of unmanned aircraft, military grade unmanned aircraft. As you can see, one of my systems here. There's all of these mysterious drones going on off the East Coast. And as a professional, as a subject matter expert, I wanted to give you all my opinion on what I think could be going on with these drones. I don't particularly believe that these have a nefarious intent. I could be wrong, but I want to give you the truth and what I believe. It's my own opinion, and I've not bounced this off of anybody. So, if you think it's bullshit, whatever, that's cool. I don't want to spread misinformation, as we know that there's a lot of that going around. But anyway, back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had dismantled the nuclear program, and there were, with Russia, there were countless nuclear missiles that were disarmed and disposed of. Well, there were over 80, I believe. There were over 80 nuclear warheads that were in Ukraine that came up missing. Okay. We don't know where they are. Maybe somebody does, but nobody really knows where these are. And I speak with some pretty high level government officials on this stuff, and it seems as though that is the case. So I spoke to a gentleman a few months ago who was trying to raise an alarm to the highest levels of our government, which they had their ears closed, about this one particular nuclear warhead that he physically put his hands on. He physically touched this warhead that was left over from Ukraine. And he knew that that thing was headed towards the United States. Okay. That is a very serious deal. And everyone knows that the United States government, this administration, is pushing to get into a war with Russia. We all know that. We all feel it. We all see it. Okay. Well, back up a few years. Do y'all remember when those drones were mysteriously flying across the Interstate 70 corridor from Colorado up into Nebraska, down here into Kansas, and out into Missouri? Well, it was believed that those drones were looking for radioactive material because there had been some material that come up missing here in the United States. And they felt like it was high probability that the nuclear or the radioactive material would be taken along the Interstate 70 corridor, heading east or west or south. So from what we understand, they were out there trying to find this radioactive material. Now, drones, they have no reason to be in the air at night unless you're doing some type of ISR work, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, looking for bad guys, or looking for a victim, a search and rescue victim, or law enforcement, or some type of military project, right? There's no reason for a drone to be flying at night, really, okay? Because they don't see shit. So, unless you have thermal optics, drones really don't see stuff. You need to do mapping during the day. If you're going to do farming stuff, mostly do it during the day. The only reason why you would ever fly an aircraft, an unmanned aircraft at night, is if you're looking for something, whether it be a person or trying to smell gas. We have methane gas detection systems.
Okay, I think we get the gist of that. He's all in, I think, on they're looking for something camp, which maybe the UFOs are looking for something. I'll give my theories probably a little more in depth another day because we don't have that too much time today. Somebody asked for this, which I'm totally down to play, the Joey Diaz clip from Joe Rogan talking about this stuff. Prophet Joey Diaz. Let's see what he had to say.
But don't know is that Hudson County, New Jersey, northern New Jersey is the #1 place in the country where they have the most UFO sightings.
Really? Northern New Jersey.
Look.
This is from a few years ago too, by the way, guys.
it up, Jamie, if you get a minute, please, not to be rude.
But isn't that like near a couple airports?
No, it's closer to like, you know, like when you live in New York City and you look at the Hudson River, they say that people go on their balcony, they're drinking coffee, they're talking on the phone, and they'll see a little flying saucer go by.
Really?
And I know for a fact that in 1976,
a little one,
whatever the fuck they are, I know for a fact that in 1975 and 1976, you could check me out on this. A UFO landed in Hudson County Park. I was a kid, and the next day the feds locked off the park. They had yellow tape. They had samples. Go look it up, dog. There's a UFO. There's a you see that's called North Bergen is where I'm from. That's called, I forget what it's called, but it's a circular building. So they did so much coke in there in the 80s, they called it the grinder. That's what they called it because it was shaped like the Stonehenge. The Stonehenge. I have a couple friends that lived there. People that lived in that building have seen UFOs for fucking years.
Wow. Joey Diaz, Prophet Joey Diaz. Yeah, there's actually a lot of, we'll probably do this because I'm going to try and do this coverage every night because I'm obviously I can't get my mind off it. But, it's interesting where this all started is where the original War of the Worlds broadcast was or something in like 1938 or whatever. And now all this stuff has me rethinking that. Like, did that actually happen? And they just did a cover up, who knows? But it's the same area of New Jersey, which is interesting. And there's, I think there's been other few flaps over the years in New Jersey that are pretty interesting. Where do you want to go next? All right, so UAP James has been doing some great coverage. Let's just kind of browse through his feed real quick and see if there's anything worth. Here's okay. This is interesting. Yeah, here's
these drones.
So apparently they're gonna have a classified briefing on these drones. Let's watch this.
Do you have any information about these drones that are flying over the United States right now? Is this China surveillance?
I don't know. But what I do know is that I think that the administration needs to be more forthcoming with information that they have. If they believe that some of these lights in the sky are civilian aircraft, then show us. Secondly, I'm getting a classified briefing along with my fellow Republicans and Democrats as to the nature of these drones. And so we need as much information as possible.
Do you have any information?
So yeah, he clipped that highlighting the fact that they're having a classified briefing about these drones coming up, which is interesting. It's so surreal, guys. They're like a month into these mystery drones. And, go watch my witness testimony I did with Omer on my backup channel. There's a bunch of them, guys. It's like there's a shit ton. Sorry, I got dinged for that the other day. There's a bunch of drone sightings. It's not a casual thing. There's so many of them. Let's go. Here's Mayorkas again, Homeland Security Director. Let's see.
Authority.
Oh, yeah. So this is kind of getting into... Actually, let's save that one for right before the Schumer one, because he's also on the train of like, we need more authorities now. So they're already trying to do Patriot Act 2 before they even know what the hell these things are. Got to be vigilant on that front for sure. Okay, here's Rep. Mike Walls. Drones could be dangerous. Incoming National Security Advisor says drones could be coming from offshore and following pre-positioned coordinates. Yeah, so that's like UAP James says, this is the incoming National Security Advisor who's probably been briefed in the same briefings Trump has. And everyone go follow UAP James. He's been doing killer coverage. He actually lives in New Jersey too. So I'm hopefully trying to get a witness testimony with him. He's also posted some interesting videos of him that he's filmed himself.
The intelligence you've seen, is there any reason for the public to be worried?
Well, look, when you have sensitive sites like Picatinny Arsenal, you have, of course, President Trump's residence at Bedminster, and you have other no-fly areas. Those need to be enforced. We need to know who's behind it. But right now, I think law enforcement seems to be the Department of Homeland Security and the Defense Department are kind of all doing this and pointing at each other. So when we come in, how do we enforce these low-level, long loitering, could be dangerous drones? And one thing for people to appreciate, they're evolving so rapidly. It's not necessarily somebody that's just on the other end flying it. They could be following pre-positioned GPS coordinates. They could be coming from offshore.
Given the intelligence you've seen, is there any reason?
So yeah, more of this offshore thing. There seems to be like a pretty sizable contingent of politicians who think this is Iran with a mothership offshore, even though like that initial one. And let's just play the meme of when, I forget which senator said it the first time. This happened, what, 3 or 4 days ago?
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off. I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones. It's everything that we.
So another like weird, interesting little sidebar of this whole hoopla is that there's a sizable contingent of politicians in America who thinks that Iran is behind this. And I'm not saying that what we just heard he was corroborating that, but it kind of seemed like he was in that camp. Again, there was that congressman who said it. We also had Anna Paulina Luna, who after that congressman said that on TV, was like backing him up and like kind of, I don't know. There's a contingent of people. Let's watch this, and then we're going to get to the Schumer. They want our rights. Chris Christie, who got roasted by Trump, by the way, about all this stuff. He saw one over his own home. This is the former New Jersey governor. He ran for president in, I believe, 2016. So former presidential candidate, former governor of the state being affected. Let's see what he said.
Over my house at 6:15 in the morning. Saw them myself, so did my wife. And so, yeah, they're there. And I've been traveling around New Jersey as I normally do all week. And I can't tell you the number of people who've come up to me concerned about it. And that's
But is this a mass hysteria of some sort?
Well, here's why, George. Because of answers like the secretary just gave. They're not answering the questions.
Well, he said they're monitoring it. They haven't seen any unusual activity, and they need more authority.
Let me tell you something. I agree that they need more authority. But
of course, you agree they need more authority.
To not say that this is not unusual activity, it's just wrong. I lived in New Jersey my whole life. This is the first time that I've noticed drones over my house. And I was in a restaurant in Monmouth County on Friday night, had people at the bar coming up to me and saying, Governor Murphy won't tell me anything. The president won't tell me anything. Do you know? Like, well, I don't know, but I will tell you this. I think this is what happens in our society now, George, because we're used to having things so rapidly. If you don't fill that vacuum, then all the conspiracy theories get filled in there. So you've got people like Congressman Jeff Van Drew saying there's an Iranian mothership off the coast of New Jersey.
True.
Absolutely.
Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contained.
Back off that. You can't have conspiracy theorists filling the space, but the Biden administration and state authorities have to be more vocal and let people know exactly what they're doing. This interview this morning was a bit of a better step, but I think much too little too late. And when people see this kind of activity, it's a newish technology to most people, and they're worried about it and concerned. And to the extent they're following things around the world, they hear about drones being deployed in Ukraine all the time as weapons.
So yeah, he was responding to this clip from yesterday where it was like super gaslighty from Mayorkas.
Calm those nerves. We have not seen anything unusual. We have not seen any unusual activity. We know of no threat. We know of no nefarious activity. I want to repeat that. We have not seen anything unusual. We know of no threat or of any nefarious activity.
Okay, so let me tell you guys this. Let's do this thought game, right? We all know there is something unusual happening, right? So if this guy right here from the government is telling us that there's nothing unusual happening, right? And we all know there is something unusual happening, and the same guy right after that says there is no threat, I don't know, could one surmise that maybe there actually is a threat? I don't know. Mind games, right? These people are speaking doublespeak. Again, this guy's telling you there's nothing unusual. We come back to Chris Christie. You know, he's saying, I've lived in Jersey my whole life. This is not usual. This is unusual. So the guy telling us there's nothing unusual is also telling us that there's no threat. So it almost kind of makes me think like, you're lying about the first thing. Are you lying about the second thing? Just a thought. Just a thought. Let's play a little more of Chris Christie here.
And us deploying drones as weapons at times. So you can see why people are concerned, and it's a lack of communication from the government at the federal and state level that's at fault here.
So you don't think it's this kind of thing where once people become focused on it, they naturally see things that they wouldn't necessarily paid attention to in the past?
I think that there's some of that, but I can tell you from the activity, I mean, look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I'm not looking for things I don't need. At 6:15 yesterday morning, or 2 mornings ago, that was a drone over my house. And I'd never seen anything like that before, and I've been living at that house for 30 years.
So if you were governor right now, what kind of authority would you want to have?
I'd want our state police to be able to have the authority to bring those drones down and find out why they're doing what they're doing.
Ooh. So, I mean, I guess authority on that front, but my hot take is I think they've already definitely tried. and they can't. I don't think they can bring these down. There's no way in hell that these things have been flying over U.S. military bases. They were at Langley like even before this wave. They were in that Langley like November. There's no way in hell something is just flying over these military installations. Some of them nuclear. They were at a nuclear site in Nevada a few months back, and they didn't try and intercept. I think they're just incapable of it. But real quick, there's a quick point from Kim Hoffman who says, RPK, why is the UFO community so silent at the moment? I guess if full-on catastrophic disclosure is about to happen, what will happen to you all who have made careers out of investigating UFOs, etc.? I don't know why they're all silent. To be honest, I feel like there's some kind of weird psyop going on, or like it's like there's almost a big movement within the UFO community to not talk about this at all, even though it's like one of the most biggest UFO flaps I've ever seen. Very strange. And then as far as the second part, I always see people say this too. They're like, "Oh, UFO community doesn't want disclosure because then like you'll have nothing to do." Well, first of all, I don't make my living off of UFOs. And second of all, no, I think there's going to be way more. There's going to be way more people willing to investigate and looking at this together and like trying to find the answers. I think it's just going to be like a new field of science or study just opening up, just, like microbiology did eventually over time. I don't think it's some weird thing of like, okay, no, I can't have disclosure happen. Those are just my thoughts on that one. Okay. A few more things. Okay. Oh, this is interesting real quick too. We got the reports in Los Angeles. So a little near my neck of the woods. So maybe we won't have to travel to New Jersey, guys, to get some good witness testimony and footage and stuff. Maybe it'll be coming here. Okay, let's see.
New video from a viewer here at KTLA. However, this is causing some big problems on the East Coast, even shutting down a runway at New York's Stewart Airport. Well, this is a very big issue.
Moving lights. Okay, we love it. So what is this? I'm just hanging out.
So this new video from KTLA viewer Sharon shows what appears to be a drone over the San Fernando Gardens community. That was at 4 o'clock this morning when she sent that over to our newsroom, with multiple other sightings across our part of the country. A TikTok user captured video of possibly 5 drones in Riverside. They've been spotted in Temecula as well earlier this week. So exactly what's going on? Temecula is near Camp Pendleton, a military base, but the Marines say they're not involved. Riverside County Sheriff, well, he suggests the drones could be from Southern California Edison, which inspects power lines with drones. However, the utility company says they don't fly drones at night. The Riverside County Sheriff's Office has received no formal reports, but is referring all concerns this morning to the FAA, which is now investigating. Well, the sightings began last month in New Jersey with reports of large drones, some the size of a car, flying at night. Since then, they've appeared in New York, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, and California. One local TikTok user captured footage of at least 10 drones flying over the city, saying that they vanished after turning off their lights. The FBI says they've received 5,000 leads since November. The Department of Homeland Security says they believe the sightings are manned aircraft and not drones. But for now, there's no evidence the
manned aircraft. Again, there's no evidence these things are even drones, by the way, guys. I feel like that's even kind of a gaslighting thing. Bring one down, prove to us it's a drone, because until then, like, you're kind of the government's just kind of saying things, and I already don't trust the government like at all. So yeah, okay. All right, so yeah, let's get into these last statements from these politicians asking for more power. There's a great still. First, let's do Mayorkas. He's back after pissing everyone off. Here's what he had to say today after pissing everyone off yesterday.
I want to assure the American public that we are on it. We are working in close coordination with state and local authorities. And it is critical, as we all have said for a number of years, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation. Our authorities currently are limited and they are set to expire. We need them extended and expanded.
So yeah, that's it's funny because he's about to get asked like, what do you want exactly? And he's even like, what? But it is kind of reassuring to see that a lot of people are reacting to this kind of language as like, no, right? We're not going to have another post on 11, just like, let's just go along with anything kind of energy. So that's kind of good. Shouts out X, shouts out the free flow of information. Imagine this, guys. Imagine this happening like even with information flow in like 2002, right? How different it would be, let alone the 80s or the 60s, right? Where the government had complete control over the media. You weren't getting any of these videos online or any of these other testimonies. It was only like the government narrative. Pretty wild. Let's see what he has to say. Let's run it back a little bit and then see what he has to say.
For a number of years, that we need from Congress additional authorities to address the drone situation. Our authorities currently are limited and they are set to expire. We need them extended and expanded.
What exactly do you need?
We want state and local authorities to also have the ability to counter drone activity under federal supervision. I want to assure the American public that we are on it. We are working in close coordination.
There you go. There's that one. And then let's go to Senator Chuck Schumer's press conference that he had today. Classic picture of him. Let me just show you guys real quick first this. This is a still from the press conference. I put a State of America right now. Chuck Schumer holding a picture of a drone and then a magic 8-ball. LOL. What a time to be alive. Oh, I might want to cover that too. Actually, we'll just touch on this real quick. Drone incursions closed Wright Patterson Air Force Base Friday night. There's some audio of that too. Let's see if he linked the full article. Yeah. Let's just listen to this audio real quick. 2 seconds, and then we'll finish with that Chuck Schumer thing. So this is from the War Zone. Yeah. Drone incursions closed Wright-Patterson Air Force Base's airspace Friday night, which is interesting. If you follow this channel, you'll know Wright-Patterson is the Air Force Base where they reportedly took the Roswell wreckage in 1947. It's also the home of the Project Blue Book from like the 40s to the 60s. And if you're new to UFOs, go check out some of my other documentaries in between streams and whatnot. I brushed up on the history. I find, you could definitely tell who knows UFO history and who doesn't. In my opinion, and I just think it's worth noting. And also, you should be aware of all false flag histories. Look up the Naya Reid testimony and all the weapons of mass destruction stuff. The more data, the better when living through these kind of weird times. Anyways, drone incursions closed Wright-Patterson Air Force Base Friday night. The sprawling Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio is the latest military installation to report mysterious drones flying over its airspace. So that's Ohio now. I think this is the first we're hearing Ohio be named. I think we're literally up to like 15. Maybe we might even be up to 20 states now, guys. I'll try and do a little call through at the end of this, but yeah, so Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Just real quick, I just wanted to play this audio. They have some air traffic control audio, I believe.
Patterson Tower, Med Flight 8, 1,900 feet, about 7 miles southwest of the field, like transition your Delta northeastbound.
Med Flight 8 Patterson Tower, use extreme caution for heavy UAS movement on the base. Security forces is handling the situation. Suggest at or above 1,700 AGL.
That we will maintain 2,000 and on our transition for Med Flight 8.
And I gotta keep the lights down so that security forces can see.
Roger that, no problem.
Position approved, sir.
Approved, Med Flight 8.
Med Flight 8 Tower.
Ahead for Med Flight 8.
Hey, sir, you're still approved through our Class Delta. After you leave, Columbus is going to sterilize the Class Delta as of 0330 Zulu. Patterson Class Delta is closed after your transition.
I'm sorry about that. You got stepped on by other traffic. Can you say again?
Yes, sir. Your transition is still approved. However, Patterson Class Delta is sterilized as of 0330 Zulu for heavy unknown UAS activity. Security forces is handling it, and Columbus is going to sterilize the airspace after you leave the Delta.
Roger that. No problem. Thank you.
Gonna sterilize the airspace after we leave the Delta. Damn. Okay. I'm gonna probably have to clip that. Maybe add some text to that video because sometimes it's hard to when it's just a thing. But all right, so back to Chuck Schumer asking for more rights and stuff. React to this. I'm going to let this run while I go take a little bit of a smoke break and probably close up here soon anyways. Okay, here's Chuck Schumer today. Enjoy.
Not a plane, it's a drone. And when it comes to drones, people in the New York area and all across the country have more questions than answers. We've seen lots of recent sightings in New York, New Jersey, Long Island, Staten Island. So It's remarkable with all these sightings over the last while. Why do we have more questions than answers? Well, we're here today for 3 reasons. First, to push a new but unclassified tech into wide use, the so-called Robin, to get answers on these drones, and also to announce that I am going to help pass, and I'm going to co-sponsor legislation that will combat these drones in a better way by allowing local police departments and state police departments to help the feds in sighting these drones, which so many have requested. If the technology exists for a drone to make it up into the sky, there certainly is the technology that can track the craft with precision and determine what the heck is going on. And that's what the Robin does. Today, we're asking the DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, to deploy special detection systems like the Robin, which use not a linear line of sight, but 360-degree technology that has a much better chance of detecting these drones. And we're asking DHS to bring them to the New York, New Jersey area. That's what we're trying to do, number one. Once we get those answers, we will be in much better shape. Let's face it, our local people who have our local people who have questions about these drones should not have to shake an 8-ball to get an answer. They want real answers, and the Robin can supply those answers, and that's why we want them here. So this is a broader and better response to the technology than we now have, and we need them deployed. Technology like the Robin was originally targeted to assess birds in aviation, so it can find little things, because when birds fly into a plane, it can be very, very damaging. But that precision is just the kind of technology, the 360-degree type of technology, that will make it much easier to figure out what these drones are, where they are, and find out even who is launching them. I've had briefings from the Department of Homeland Security. These are not classified, so I can talk about them, about this technology. I asked them about it last week, and they said this is late last week, and this is just the kind of technology we need. Drone radar is based on the use of radio waves. The radio waves are sent out in short pulses, and that means it's detectable. The question is, why haven't the federal authorities detected them yet? But now we're pushing them to get this done quickly, because it's been too long where there have been no answers. Now, it is true it's not so easy. Some of the drones are small. Some of the drones' flight patterns are erratic. Multiple drones flying together can confuse a traditional radar system. And that's why, again, this new technology can really get us the answers that we need. Also today, I've written the Secretary of Homeland Security, Secretary Mayorkas, not only to urge action on technology like the Robin, but also to get him to support legislation. It's called S-1631. Right now, state and local law enforcement does not have the ability or the legal authority to detect drones. It's only the federal agencies. But because there are so many of these drones in so many places, our local authorities want and need the help. This legislation will get them the help. The FBI has used its authority, for instance, over the Super Bowls. I'm going to the Giant game today. There will be the feds with certain technologies right over the stadium there to detect any dangerous drones or anything else that could happen. Well, they can use the same thing to detect the drones that we now have and have seen. So that's basically it. I'll co-sponsor this legislation, and it's called S-1631, that allows the local authorities to do so, and I will be pushing it as soon as possible. As I said, I'll do it again for this nice man who came in.
Could you hold up the photos again?
Yes, I will. I will. To this very nice fellow.
Which outlet?
Okay. Hmm?
Block your face, Senator.
No, good point. I should have learned that over the
You
years.
know how to do this.
Yes, okay. So this is what's in the sky, It's not a bird, it's a plane, it's a drone. New Yorkers have tremendous questions about it. We are going to get the answers for them. Okay? And as I said, we'll do it this way since I did it this way last time. You should not, if you see a drone in your air over your home, you should not have to shake an 8-ball to see what it is. There ought to be better technology.
No, he loves that 8-ball thing. He rolled into that press conference with the 8-ball being like, this is going to be such a hit. They're going to love it. What do you guys think? Are the Patriot Act drones going to stand up against the alien drones? Let me know. We got this great super chat from Beats and Meats who says, they act like we don't have satellite imagery covering every square centimeter of Earth. That's a great point. And maybe we'll get into that another day because Tupa's clipped a good video where it just shows like even like in 2006 or something like that, they had insane satellite capabilities all over the world. Maybe we'll play a little bit more of this, and then we're going to run through, I think, some of the vertical videos that are on my backup channel. And then I think we'll close out with that audio I talked about yesterday, the full 13-minute ATC audio of the Oregon incursion or Oregon UFO. Yeah.
And we need that technology here in New York ASAP. Okay? Questions on this subject? Yes.
Senator, if there's no idea where these are coming from, would you consider banning the sale of them from some of the companies that make the drones?
Well, we first have to see what they are. We have to see what drones they are, where they're coming from. Are they U.S. drones? Are they coming from? No one thinks they're from a foreign government, and no one thinks they're doing harm right now by tracking the patterns. But we certainly want to first get the answers to the questions, and then we'll take further action.
Are you in touch with the companies that make them?
We don't know they don't know what they are, so we don't know the companies. There are hundreds of companies all over the globe that make drones. We don't know which ones these are. This radar will help us find out which they are, and then we can go talk to the companies.
Senator, everybody who has a drone, especially in the media, right? These drones are being watched constantly. So how is it that you have drones that nobody knows anything about?
Well, they've happened in the last few weeks. And there is technology that can detect them, and that's what we're urging to happen right now.
So in other words, you're saying that these drones are not registered, like
correct. There is no system. This is what our legislation helps do. There's no system for registering any drone. You have, as long as the drone is not near an airport or a military base, as long as it is flying below a certain level altitude, people have a right to fly them. You can go to a park and some people are flying drones.
Got it.
Sir, as the author of the UAP amendment in the 2024 National Defense Authorization
Yes.
Act, you, among anybody, should be calling these what they are. We don't know they're drones, correct?
That was a good question from the audience because, yeah, for people who don't know, people who are just like maybe not in the UFO community and just like coming into this whole thing from the drone thing, he drafted some pretty interesting UFO legislation, and they even held this like really kind of weird and honestly kind of cringe, like UFO protest in honor of him. It was a psyop in my opinion. But yeah, like, so I do kind of, whoever that person that asked that question is, that was pretty cool. Let's see what his response to it is. Cause he's basically saying like, bro, you know, these are UFOs. Tell us straight. You of all people should know. He sits on the committees where he gets the briefings and stuff. He wrote the legislation all about UFOs. You should know. Tell us what you're not telling us, Chuck.
They are UAPs. Why?
We don't-
Why aren't they being called UAPs?
Because we don't know if there are UAPs. We don't know what they are. That's what we're trying to find out.
Identified.
Yeah, that's a great point, right? We don't know if they're UAPs. We don't know what they are. That's literally what the name is, bud. All right, let's go back a bit.
National Defense Authorization
Yes.
Act. You, among anybody, should be calling these what they are. We don't know they're drones, correct? They are UAPs. Why?
We don't-
Why aren't they being called UAPs?
Because we don't know if there are UAPs. We don't know what they are. That's what we're trying to find out.
Identified, of course.
Nobody knows what they are. We have to find out.
Senator,
Yes.
U.S. military drones?
We don't believe we do not believe they are U.S. military drones, or the military would have told us that.
Why haven't precautions been taken sooner?
Why now? Why haven't precautions? Well, all of a sudden they're in the skies all over the place, and so we got to find answers. And then the legislation will provide much more authority as to where and when drones can fly. Right now, there is no authority to that because there are so many hobbyists and everybody else who flies drones. So you got to figure out how to do it.
Have you spoken with top government leaders about the possibilities involved with non-human intelligence?
Look,
Some good questions in this press conference here. Good questions.
we have spoken with top government leaders about finding the answers to what these are. We don't know what they are.
Fishing class
No,
drones?
no more, sir. Let other people. Okay.
UFO community IRL, us like being super annoying about everything. Stop asking me about the UFOs. Okay.
When will you have a definitive answer of what these drones or where they're coming from?
The sooner the better. We've talked to the Homeland Security and the FBI and told them we need answers quickly. And they've said this legislation will help. And they say getting the robins in the area will help.
Senator, drones are required to have digital license plates. Why hasn't there been any public?
There's the laws on where and when and who can fly drones are rather limited. And this legislation will make it greater. Will help make it greater. Yes, we'll take one more and then we got to go.
Governor Hochul came out with a statement just about 50 minutes ago saying that in response to her calls for additional resources, federal partners are deploying a state-of-the-art drone detection system into New York State.
We need the Robin system here. That's what we're asking
How
for.
does that fit into what she's saying?
I haven't talked to her, so I can't tell you. I don't know.
Is Senator Chuck Schumer invested in the company behind the Robin system? Willing to bet yes. Definitely Nancy Pelosi has already been invested in the Robin system probably for years at this point.
We can talk to
She's
Yeah.
calling for the passing the counter UAS of
That's the bill that I talked about. Okay. Okay. Thank you, folks. I got to go.
Gotta go. Gotta head out. All right. We're gonna we're just about wrapping up here. We're just gonna run through my backup channel. And if you aren't subscribed to it, go subscribe to Red Panda Koala backup channel to get all these like kind of clips without a stream or whatever. If you want to just watch them that way, just gonna run through some of the ones I've uploaded since our last stream of some of these vertical videos about. Okay, yeah. So this one was I think in New Jersey. Yeah. You know. So the person who filmed this said that this was like a fixed wing craft that was like hovering like 300 feet above their house. So like it looked like a giant plane in the distance, but like it was literally just like hovering above their house. And I'm gonna continue on saying I think there's a lot of evidence of like mimicry going on, and these things look like they're trying to mimic conventional craft. Maybe that's what's going on here, maybe not. But the person who filmed it said like, no, this wasn't a plane far off. This was like right above my house. Yeah, that one kind of does look like a plane, but again, like I said, you gotta factor in the witness testimony at least a little bit. Let's go to there's a super chat. Let's see. Tactical says we don't ride over abortion. Who is going to ride over their DJI? If they wanted drone regulation, realistically, they could have done it at any point. Yeah, exactly. The whole thing, like this is just a play for more drone regulation. The government can do pretty much whatever they want. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, this one I'm even kind of unsure about, but there's been so much stuff going on. Might as well include it. It's alleged orb. There's people saying that they're filming orbs. Like so much stuff's happening right now, right? Who knows? We'll just watch this one.
This is crazy. My God, look at it. That's not a plane. That is wild. That's going way too fast. That's not. What's with my camera? I had to go run in and get my camera. Nobody was going to believe me. What's with my camera? Look at this thing.
Yeah, and again, guys, if that turns out to be fake, don't crucify me. Honestly, that one, when I first saw it, it kind of seemed fake, but I've been seeing more and more of like orb videos in the mix with these drones. And that's even some of the witness testimony we got today too. People were saying that like there seems to be like two different groups going on here: the orbs and the the mystery drones. Like they're almost two different factions or something. But and we'll have to do this another week too. It kind of reminds me of the Chains of the Sea book that Lue Elizondo recommended. And again, don't take Lue Elizondo's word as gospel or anything, but I think the book does present a good concept, or basically the TLDR of it, and we'll kind of cover it. Tube has a nice little video about it. Maybe we'll watch one of these days. Aliens come, and then when the aliens come, they're not interested in humans really at all. There's already like an AI thing, and then there's this like non-human intelligence like thing that already exists on Earth that they all kind of are interacting with, and like they don't really care about the humans. And that kind of is the vibe I feel going on right now, where like whatever the hell these drones are, they don't even really care that we're all like in a hoopla about them right now. They're just kind of doing their own thing. They're on some kind of mission or doing their little task, and they're unfazed by the thoughts or concerns of man. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, and we did get another super chat. Where was it? Love your work, dude. Keep going. I check your updates daily. Thank you, Cigarette Man. Thank you, sir. And then here we go. Bull Gambit says there was a report that unknown drones forced Wright-Patterson Aerospace to close its runways for several hours late Friday into Saturday morning. Yeah, we did already cover that, Bull Gambit, and we listened to the air traffic control audio of that, which is pretty interesting. And again, I'll remind you guys, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is where it was reported that they took the Roswell crash. Maybe. Yeah, I could pull that up real quick. Let's just listen to that real quick. The Roswell broadcast, and that's where they had Project Blue Book too, in the 40s or whatever. Okay, here we go. This is 1947. The alleged UFO that crashed outside Roswell, New Mexico, where there was the first nuclear-armed bomber squadron. The planes that dropped the bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki were stationed there when all this was going down, so the nuclear connection kind of comes in a lot. But let's just listen.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
You catch that, Wright Field, Ohio. And not only we'll probably there's so much stuff. We'll probably have to do more on Wright Field, but Wright Field, Ohio is where also Tom DeLonge was in communication with that General Neil McCaslin. This might be really deep lore if you're not into UFOs. But basically there's already a reverse engineering thing there just for like, like if we get a reversed, I don't know, Iranian technology or something, it would go to Wright-Patterson right now currently, which leads a lot of people to suspect that that's also probably where they take all the UFO stuff. So it's interesting that of all the places shot down, we have, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, that same place where we just heard the Roswell record was took. Thank you for that, Bull Gambit. All right, let's continue along here back to the vertical video section. Let's see what we got next. Okay, this is interesting. And this is another one people are like, that's a police drone. But I don't know, man. I think a lot of these things are mimicking. Maybe I'm just hella bad at identifying shit. And I also put a lot of credence into the people filming it. You know what I mean? More so than the people like in the comments. Like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
See it? It's stalling right over the cop cars. Those are the cop cars. That's the station. And this thing is stalled right over us. There it is. Can you see it? Oh my God. It's turning around. Look, the colors are turning around. This is some crazy stuff. And look, there's the full moon. So beautiful tonight. Where is it? There's the moon. Okay, then I turn it over, and there's the cop cars, and there's the train station, and there is the thing, and it's turning around. Amazing.
Yeah, so that one, honestly, I'm a little more open to it actually being a police drone, but who knows? Who knows? Figure we just throw it in the mix. We're all experiencing the weird information flow space together. So this one is interesting. We'll just play it again. This was the one that we played at the beginning where it shows a personal drone kind of trying to go intercept a drone. And mind you, this is in Phoenix, Arizona last night. So nowhere on the Eastern Seaboard. Yeah, let's see.
Something's going up real fast. A plane? I can't tell what it is. is that moving quick? That could be a drone. I don't know what the hell that is. But that is quick. There's only one remaining right now. Whatever that green flashing one is, he moved quick around it to get it. Super quick. He's like right there with it. Oh, he's like right on it. Oh, that whatever it was just shut down the drone, if that was a drone. Holy crap.
So yeah, I'm willing to bet. Let's run that back again. Right, that last part. I'm willing to bet this has happened multiple times with U.S. military drones trying to engage these things at this point.
He's like right there with it. Oh, he's like right on it. Oh, that whatever it was just shut down the drone, if that was a drone.
And again, remember, we did have reports already of this happening in New Jersey. Now we have a video to kind of corroborate some of the reports that we've seen reported in Jersey. So it seems like you can't fly your drones near these things. Okay, let's continue along here.
What is that?
Okay, this was on Florida Turnpike headed south. I think this is a fairly recent video, but who knows? There's so much stuff going on. If this is old, I'm sorry. So, not the most compelling video, but it does kind of look like something we've seen out of San Diego a few years back. These kind of weird metallic things. This one was pretty interesting. This one is posted mystery drone filmed from airplane in New York last night, coming into LaGuardia Airport. And again, people I saw in the comments were like, "Oh, that's just a regular drone." I don't know. We'll just watch it together, and you let me know if you think it's real or not. Yeah, I don't know. Call me crazy. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a lot of these things are trying to mimic conventional craft, but they just don't get it right. And we'll talk more about that tomorrow too, because I wanted to talk about like demon face syndrome and like Men in Black and stuff. Because I don't know, who knows where this is going to go. But I think for today, we're just going to close out here with that air traffic control audio I was telling you guys about yesterday. So this is the UFO encounter that happened off the coast or in Oregon. I think like a few weeks ago or a week ago or so. They released the full air traffic control audio. Some interesting things said. I'm just gonna let it play out. It's been a fun stream, guys. We're gonna continue to covering this during the week. I do have to go somewhere tonight, so that's why it's like I'm leaving a little started early, leaving early. But I think we covered a lot of ground here tonight, so we'll just play this out and then close up at the end.
You got time for a question?
Right, 2207, go ahead.
Hey, just wondering if you have any aircraft at our 10 o'clock out over the coast that you're aware of? Kind of some interesting looking lights out there. Not satellites, but maybe aircraft.
How far out? Because I do have an aircraft that you're 10 to 9 o'clock in about 120 miles out.
Possibly, yeah. It looks like at least 4, though. Something's flying. It's not satellites because they're changing direction. And it's strange looking. I've seen this a few times over the last month in the same area.
Right, 2207, Roger. How far out are your 10 o'clock in? Are they at a similar altitude as you?
It's really hard to tell. They seem quite far and probably the same altitude or higher.
Roger, thanks for the report.
Thank you. Okay, Seattle Center, yeah, 1596.
1596, bud.
Is there any military activity out straight ahead of us?
1596, no, we're not seeing anything. I had another one report at like 30,000 feet in the Eugene area. We're not sure what it is.
Yeah, there's lots moving out there.
1596, yeah, they're looking into it.
And where is that at for 661 Lima Fox?
661 Lima Foxtrot, okay, bye. You know, to 1596, does it still look like it's in the Eugene area?
Yeah, just straight west of Eugene. I mean, we're seeing 3 or 4 targets. You know, they're all altitudes up and down. It's pretty crazy.
You know, 1596, does it look like it's about at your altitude at level 260?
There was some at 30 probably. I mean, they're shooting way up. We say maybe up to the 50s, it looks like.
1596, thanks. Medevac 1 Lima Fox, did you copy?
Yeah, I heard it. We'll be looking. 661 Lima Fox. I think too, that'll hold way in.
This is 2207, thanks. Alaska 835, do you see any lights or aircraft movement out here at like 3 o'clock there? I have a couple aircraft reporting it. Alaska 835, roger, thank you. And you can contact Seattle Center 12518 today. Medevac 1 Lima Fox, Cedric North Bend Airport.
Check North Bend Airport. And is there traffic actually out about our 2 to 3 o'clock, about, I don't know, 20, 30 miles?
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, no, is that the 4 different lights going up and down? I'm getting a few reports, but you're seeing it right in front of you now too as well?
It's 2 to 3 o'clock off, that 2 to 3 o'clock from our position. Looks about 20 miles going in circles.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, yeah, we're not seeing anything, getting lots of different reports out there, some at 30, some all the way up to 50,000, about 3 or 4 different lights. Does it look like they're around your altitude now?
No, there's one way up high and one about my altitude. Moving in like a circle, like a corkscrew pattern.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, roger. Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, just looking into this a little bit more. Could you give me another more accurate report, please?
All right, I'm visually have eyes on what looks like an aircraft strobe that's at my 2 o'clock and 22 miles. At my altitude, and I'm actually showing him on PCAS. Do you see that one?
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, I do not. Does an pilot discretion maintain 1-4000?
Send maintain 1-4000, Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot. He looks like he's moving towards, it looks like it's moving towards the north. Like I said, 22 and a half miles off my right wing. Medevac 661 Lima Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, thank you.
And center, Medevac 661 Lima Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, go ahead.
Just had another one show up about my 1 o'clock, about 1,000 feet high, zipping towards us and then back out towards the ocean. It's red in color, moving at extreme speeds. I don't even know how to describe how fast he's moving. 661 Lima Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, roger. You are cleared to maneuver as necessary left and right to avoid the UFO out there, and all the reports you've given us are good information. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, any chance you were able to film any of that?
We're trying right now. 1 Lima Foxtrot. It's weird. It's a red circular shape, and it keeps zipping out towards the ocean and then coming back in about, 20 miles or closer to us, and then it zips back out of the ocean and we can't see it. 1 Lima Fox.
Thank you. Medevac 4 Lima Foxtrot, you can expect it.
Say again for 1 Lima Fox.
Number 4 Lima Foxtrot, I said you can expect that approach. Thank you. Dow's altimeter is 3017. Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, any chance I can throw you my number, and if you get a video of or a picture, you can send it our way. There's a lot of controllers here pretty interested in seeing what you're looking at there.
Yeah, let me get a piece of paper real quick. Hang on 1 second. All right, 1 Lima Fox, I'm ready.
1 Lima Foxtrot, area code 42555.
All right, 42555. I have my med crew in the back trying to film it too. They're watching the same thing I'm watching up here.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, appreciate it. And name, if you want to just shoot me a text, picture, photo, whatever you got. So we're all pretty curious.
Will do. 1 Lima Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, descend pilot's discretion, maintain 10,000.
Pilot discretion 10,000. 1 Lima Fox.
Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot,
You can, I let the next controller know of what's going on there. And again, you are free to move left or right as necessary. You can contact them on 127.55. Any updates would be appreciated.
All right, you said you want me to switch to 12755 for 1 Lima Fox?
Affirmative.
And Center Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot. Pass along what's going on off to the right of my aircraft. It's still continuing. It's a red, we're only seeing one. It's a red circle-shaped object that's zipping out over towards the ocean. It disappears for a little bit, and then it zips back in about 20 miles from us off the right side of the aircraft. It's picking it up on PCAS. It comes back in, and it zips back out over the ocean at a rapid rate of speed, faster than anything I've ever seen move. 1 Lima Fox. I'm trying to get a video of it.
Coast Guard 606 Tree, just north of Newport. You monitoring frequency? Coast Guard 606 Tree, just north of Newport. You on frequency?
Oh, at North End, reporting a quarter now. I think we're going to have to return to Aurora for Medevac 661 on the box. Cleared via direct Medevac 661 on the box shot. 125.8 Medevac 661 on the box shot. Seattle Medevac 661 on the box shot. 14,000 heading 330 just for a couple minutes away.
Medevac 661 in the Foxtrot Sales Center, welcome back. Salem altimeter 3028, you are cleared to maneuver however you like. One able to proceed direct to Aurora State and advise.
All right, one able direct Aurora State, and we'll let you know when we're direct to Aurora. Medevac 661 on the Foxtrot. For an update on that thing, it keeps zipping in to just barely over Florence and then back out over the ocean.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, thank you. Yeah, we have a Coast Guard helicopter that's heading down that way. They're just southwest of Newport now. I'm trying to get a hold of them, but no joy, unfortunately.
Roger that. It's definitely higher than the Coast Guard helicopter. I'm sure they're pretty low, aren't they?
Yeah, they're down around 600 feet, but they are just off the coast. I was hoping they could see anything. I don't know if there's cloud cover, though. Flight 1 Lima Foxtrot. Any chance you want to hit that guard or that Coast Guard there on guard? Our transmitters probably can't reach them that low, but you should have a pretty good line of sight. Coast Guard 606 Tree. Coast Guard 606 Tree. If you just want to hit them on 121.5 there and have them try to come up our frequency just for some questions.
All right, I'll try to get them. Coast Guard 6063. That's what you said?
Affirmative.
Coast Guard 6063, this is Medevac Aircraft 661, Lima Foxtrot, how do you hear? Coast Guard on guard frequency, this is Medevac 661, Lima Foxtrot, how do you hear? Coast Guard 6063 on guard on 1215, Medevac 661, Lima Foxtrot, how do you hear?
Coast Guard calling Seattle Center, actually looking for the Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot, that Medevac is on 125.8.
And Center, Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot, couldn't reach him on guard.
Okay, thank you for trying to state your call. Coast Guard 663.
Coast Guard, this is Medevac 661 Lima Foxtrot. Seattle would like to talk to you on 125.8. That's frequency 125.8. Seattle Center has a couple questions for you.
Seattle Center 125.8.
All right, Seattle just got a hold of them. They're going to contact you on 25.8. This is Medevac 661 Lima Fox.
Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, appreciate the report. Coast Guard 606 Tree, Seattle, how do you hear? Hey, I got you 5x5 as well. I know you guys are probably on search and rescue out there. Just wanted to give you a report up ahead, about 20 miles. There's been several reports now of UFO activity moving what appears to be supersonic speed, kind of inland and then back over the water. We've had multiple altitude reports all the way down to about 14,000. That's the flight level 550. I was just wondering if you had any eyes on that out there, if you saw anything. Coast Guard 6063, Roger. Thanks for the reports, and yeah, you can switch back to your frequency if you do happen to see anything out there that looks a little suspicious. It's been reported red and circular, moving really, really fast. If you see that, if you could just come back up on this frequency and let us know, I'd appreciate it. Medevac 1 Lima Foxtrot, I appreciate the report. And if I didn't give it to you earlier, Salem altimeter 3028, descent pilot's discretion, maintain 10,000.
Pilot discretion 10,000, 3028 on the meter, and my med crew said they got some good videos they're going to send to me. We'll get over to you guys. 661 Lima Fox.
Can't wait. Plus 1100, unusual report for you. That's a multiple UFO reports. Most recent one was 50 miles west of your position over the coast. Circular, red and white, we've had reports of it at 1/4000, and then it'll shoot up as high as 550 is the highest report in kind of a corkscrew pattern, moving at what appears to be supersonic or even hypersonic speed. So if you can look out that way and just let us know if you see anything or if it's, whatever you see, we'd appreciate a report.
Yeah, of course. We'll look west, Alaska 1100. Thanks. Yeah, we got time for a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
How did you get such an accurate description? Was that from another air crew that reported all that?
So we actually had a medevac Pilatus that was southbound, and it.
All right, so yeah, that's that audio real quick, and just you guys go watch that on the backup channel, Brad Pentecola backup channel. Here's an update from him, just so you guys could hear from one of the pilots reported, and then Tupa and Game Tech posted this interesting video that seems to be showing it. But let's watch this real quick.
Unidentified lights this past Saturday, reported it to air traffic control. We have highlighted the spot in this video because it's kind of hard to see. Lifelight says the crew was doing a routine flight near Eugene when they saw a moving light in the sky. The pilot, Joe Bewley, says they were climbing around 7,000 feet, heard another aircraft report seeing the lights. Then moments later, Bewley and his crew saw the same thing.
Got down near the Corvallis area and started seeing the weird lights, the weird lights. As you can tell on the recording, that the audio recording is pretty much basically what we saw, just a orangish red orb, that one that was moving. They're quite a ways away, probably at least 20 miles away from us.
Lifelight says they will not speculate on what they think the light was.
Here's the video. So this is breaking. Do we have a breaking thing? We need a breaking thing. Well, Oregon pilots see every night, and this is coming from Tupacabra, who retweeted Game Tech, both really great friends of the show. Game Tech Politics says, exclusive. Pilot in the Northwest filmed a time-lapse video from his cockpit. This video was sent to me personally. The pilot thinks it may be Starlink and made this statement. Well, there are thousands of them, and they're all traveling in different orbits. So when you see them pass through the sunlight as they're reflecting at you, it looks like they're moving in different directions. It also even looks like they're moving back and forth, changing directions. It's trippy. When you catch it on video, it's way easier to see. What you see with your naked eye looks way stranger. So here's a time lapse. So we'll see. Is it Starlink or UFOs? I'm watching it live with y'all too. Let's see. Oh, no audio on this time lapse. I don't know. Not really seeing anything. Oh, that looks kind of interesting. Not seeing anything necessarily super crazy in this one, but still interesting nonetheless. Yeah, like I said earlier, the media landscape today, I think, is better. I think overall better, right? There's definitely sensationalism that could and panic and shit, but like way better than just the news stations being in control of the flow of information regarding all this stuff. But yeah, I think that's about it for today, guys. Thank you for all tuning in. I'm probably going to go again tomorrow. Like I said, I can't sleep. Every time I'm about to fall asleep, something else breaks and pops off. And yeah. But with that, I think we're going to close out. Let me see. Is there any other memes I want to hit? Let's just hit a quick Tony before we dip out. I'm gonna add the there's a let me just show you guys real quick. I'm gonna have to copyright cut this out later, but there's the Jersey Shore people saw one like a few years ago on one of their shows, and I did make a little edit of that too back in the day. Already feels so long ago. I think it wasn't even a week ago. Actually, maybe I won't, because it'll. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, never mind. We'll just save it for another day. I'll find the shorter one. But yeah, thanks guys. That's gonna be it for today. Everyone have a great day. A great evening. I'm gonna be driving soon, so pray for me that I don't get zapped by one. I'm in California, and they have been reported around here, but not in mass or anything. And I definitely don't want to see one if any of them are listening. I do not consent. But yeah, everyone have a great evening. Peace.